Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. So in today's video, I'm going to be going over my pet peeves as a hairstylist. So this is just for fun, it's not to offend anybody or anything. We all have things at our jobs that we consider to be pet peeves, so these are mine. So without any further ado, I'm just gonna get right into it. So my first pet peeve is lateness. I can't stand when a client is late and they're nonchalant about it, or they're just late on a regular basis or something like that. I'm pretty lenient about it from time to time, depending on the reason that they're late, because I get that things come up and things happen or whatever, but I just can't stand when a client doesn't tell me that they're gonna be late, or some clients will tell me after they're already late that they're gonna be late. Like, why tell me 15 minutes past your appointment time that you're gonna be running late? You know what I mean? When a client is late, it pushes back your entire day, and then I'm gonna be late with my next client and my next client, so I either have to not take you and lose that job or mess up my entire day. You put me in a very tough position if you're gonna be late. Along with that, I can't stand last minute cancellations. Why cancel on me the morning of your appointment or moments before your appointment? I don't get that, but people do that. This is the reason why a lot of places have cancellation policies, because if you don't show up and there's not enough time for me to book that spot with somebody else, then I just lost out on all this time that I could have been working. So if you book a 4-hour service with me and then you decide you don't want to come the morning of or like the hour before, who am I going to book in that time, in that short amount of time? You know what I mean? What am I going to do with all that space? And following that is my biggest pet peeve, which is no call, no show. So that's when you don't show up to your appointment and you don't even tell me you're not coming, and I'm just sitting there waiting on you and you're not answering your phone, and then I'm calling you back and you're ignoring my calls. Why do that? If you can't make it, just say it. I have zero tolerance for no-shows. If you ever no-show me for an appointment, you will never book with me ever again. Usually when somebody no-shows me, they don't even bother trying to book again, but there are some people who would actually try and book again in the future and act like it never happened and never even address that they never showed up to their last appointment. And honestly, I just tell them that I'll no longer have availability for them because of their last no-show appointment. And I wish them the best of luck in finding a new hairstylist. I've even heard people say out of their mouths that they will book an appointment, not my clients, but I've heard people say this, that they'll book an appointment and they just want to know that they have the spot if they do decide that they want to get their service done. But if they don't, they just won't go, but they just want to hold a spot for themselves. Do you know how selfish that is? Because that's a spot that somebody else could have had. That's a spot that that stylist could have had to be making money with somebody else, but you're just gonna stand them up. Why do that to somebody? That's so rude, so inconsiderate. That's my biggest pet peeve. Another one, and this is a huge one for me, and I don't know if a lot of stylists hate this, but I'm sure they do, and it's when I'm doing somebody's hair and they just look up at me and they just randomly go, "So what else do you plan on doing with your life?" Or something along those lines that basically implies that me doing hair is not a wise career, or I'm obviously just doing this as a side job, or until something better comes up. I don't know why it's so hard for people to understand that being a hairdresser is a career and there is a lot of money in it, and I'm sick of having to explain that to people. I don't even explain to anybody anymore. I just say, no, this is what I want to do, and I leave it at that. I hate that conversation. It just makes no sense coming from a client, because I'm here doing your hair. You're sitting in my chair expecting me to make you look good. You're paying me your money, and then you're really gonna turn around and talk about, but you should be doing something else? Where's the logic in that? Where is that? And it's just nosy and rude. Why would you ever tell somebody what else you want to do with your life? Why are you just gonna make the assumption that I'm not doing okay? That's not your business. The next one is the entourage. Please, if you are getting your hair done at a salon, do not bring a whole paparazzi with you. I know a lot of times when people are getting their hair done for a special occasion, like a Sweet 16 or something, they like everybody to come and take pictures of every little step of their day, but it's actually really inconvenient to come into a salon with your friends and your sisters and your aunts and your mom and your best friend and your cousins. It's very, very inconsiderate. It's very rude. There's no space for all that. Stylists only have one chair in front of them, and there's a reason for that. We don't have a whole bench around us. If you're gonna have people come with you, at least do us a courtesy of staying in the waiting area. But there's been times when I've had people come in with crowds and they'll all be around me talking, laughing, being rude and obnoxious to everybody else. They have their cameras out, and it's like, first of all, I need some elbow room. Second of all, you're in everybody's space, not just mine. You're also messing up the client and the stylist next to me. It's too many people. You can't do that. Obviously, I don't deal with that anymore because of COVID, and you can't bring people with you. But when the world goes back to normal, please keep in mind that it is very inconsiderate to bring a ton of people with you to your service. Just you alone. That's fine. That's good enough. Another pet peeve is when people bring children with them, and okay, no, I shouldn't say that. I love kids. I don't mind people bringing their kids with them, but your kids have to be behaved. Because I understand that you don't always have a sitter and you really want to get your hair done and nobody can watch your kids. I get that, but please make sure that your kids are sitting in one spot, or at least staying contained, you know what I mean? Like, don't allow your kids to run around the entire shop and then be like, kids, right? No, wrong. I get that kids are kids and they get bored and they get antsy and they're gonna do what kids do and try and find something to make themselves interested. I feel like it's the parents' obligation to make sure that they're behaving and not getting in anybody else's way. Bring something for them to do. Like, you're sitting there on your phone keeping yourself occupied on social media and watching your YouTube videos. Meanwhile, your kids are sitting there for hours bored out of their mind. Bring something for them to do so that they're not left with nothing to do but run around and touch things. And not even that, but there's a lot of danger in kids just running around the shops. They could touch a hot curling iron, they can grab scissors and run with them, they can trip over a wire. Why? And that's nobody's responsibility but yours. If you have to bring kids with you, please keep an eye on them. Please keep them under control. So the next pet peeve is the friends and family discount. I always knew that you can't depend on friends to be your best clients. We would like to think that you can depend on your friends, but the truth of the matter is you really can't. And that's fine, that's okay. You don't have to come to me because I'm your friend. But if you do come to me, don't expect me to give you a discount because you know me, because you're friends with me, because first of all, are you really my friend if you want me to work for less money? Especially because these are the ones who would usually go to some other stylist, which is fine, but they'll go to their other stylist and pay full price, no complaints whatsoever, but then one day they might be low on their funds and they're gonna be like, oh, I really need my hair done, but I don't have the money. Let me see if I can hit up Kelsey and see if she'll do me a favor. No, definitely not. Why? Would you want to work for less money just because you know somebody? Why would you expect me to do that? Are you really my friend if you want me to do that? The next one is another big one, and that's people who want to complain about pricing. I always say there's a stylist for everybody, and I mean that especially when it comes to pricing. If you go to a stylist and you don't agree with their prices, go to a different stylist. Simple as that. There is always a cheaper stylist somewhere around the road. Just look around for them. There's no point in sitting up in front of one stylist and telling them to bring down their prices just for you. If you don't want to pay what I'm charging, go to someone else because I'm not budging. I put a lot of thought into my pricing. I don't just pick numbers out of the sky and put it on my menu. I know what my service is worth. I know how much time and effort it takes me. I know how well I can execute this style. I know the products that I need to use for it. I think about all that when I calculate my pricing. So when you pay for a service, you are getting your money's worth. But if you don't want to see that, then just go to somebody else. You don't have to come to me. Nobody is forcing you to sit in my chair. So feel free to move on. I'm not gonna be mad. I will not be mad because I don't want to be known as that stylist who has discounts and who has cheap prices. I don't want people to come to me because they can save money. I want people to come to me because I do good work. And if you're not that client, you are free to go. Spread your wings and fly. Oh, another big one that I deal with is flirting. I have male clients because I do braids, so I have a lot of men who come with me and get braids, and that means they're sitting in my chair for about an hour and a half to 2 hours usually. And not all of them, but a lot of my male clients do try flirting with me, and I don't like it. I would like to say that I'm at least flattered, but I'm really not. I just want to do my work and be done. A lot of my clients come to my house, and I have a TV where I work, and a lot of times they'll try and use that as an excuse to stay longer. They'll be like, oh, when we're done, we can just chill and watch movies for a minute, or we can go out and get something to eat, or always trying to add more to their service. And even when they text me to book another appointment, there's always a whole bunch of unnecessary compliments and lines that they don't need to use just to book an appointment. And it's just this unwanted attention, and I really don't like it. And the sad thing is that if I don't react to the way that they want me to, a lot of times they don't come back to me, and obviously I don't care, because if that's the only reason you were coming to me was because you wanted something more than your braids, then I don't really want you. But I just don't like dealing with that in the first place. I just want to do my job and be done. That's it. Nothing further than that. You are just my client, and that's it. And the final pet peeve that I have here is the know-it-all, or as I like to call, the YouTube graduate. These are the people who watch a couple YouTube videos and think that they know everything about doing hair or doing nails or any type of service, and then they come to somebody else for that service and you want to sit there and tell your stylist what to do. If you know what to do and they're going to go on and tell about how much you know and everything, why are you sitting in my chair? Well, isn't this a waste of money for you? That just makes no sense. And I could go on and on and on about that, but I'm not going to. But respect, like, it's one thing if you want to tell me, like, if you want to be specific about how you want your style, but don't tell me what to do as if I didn't already know what I was doing. Don't try and talk down to me, you know? Like, some people just don't know where to draw the line. So that's all the pet peeves that I have to share today. Again, this is not to offend anybody, it was just for fun. I just wanted to share it. And I want to do a reverse version of this video where I talk about pet peeves that clients have with their hairstylists, because I feel like we hairstylists also have room for improvements, and we might also have habits that we're not aware that we need to break. So if you guys have any suggestions for that, leave that in the comments below, and then I'll do my own research as well and then talk about my personal experiences from being a client. But yeah, I want to do that so it's not one-sided and biased, you know? But that's it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you guys next time. Bye!